A year ago to the day we started YouTube, but the anniversary curse is hit. We grind to a halt at Chelsea, we're on stop at Ash Park, and the new officers arrive with no power. My name's Joe, we are selling Scaffolding, and this is episode 53.
Jump up on that board, mate.
Mate, look how many beams we've got in here. It is mental.
I've got a beam missing, I've got 7 beams.
Oh, really?
But Ballard said he's going to get Alan and bring it out.
Is he?
So we've got bits to do until he can bring that other beam out.
Who made the balls up?
Well, I don't know. It's just that I think it's a miscommunication. We've ended up with 7 metres worth of beam that's not the right size. But you've got the yard this morning, there's no 5s. 25s in a stillage,
Yeah.
but no 5s on the motors.
Have you got 5s or not?
A few, 30 and whatever's out the back.
Why has he not told anyone though?
Normally he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like he'll tell you that that's not in the yard.
Yeah.
I don't know. But them boys should have 5s out of Ash Park today.
There's loads of gear there, isn't there?
Joe, you probably, yeah. I reckon we'll eat it up. Most of it will come here. Basically, once we've got this beam in now, we're ready to go for lifts on 3 sides of it.
Yeah.
So what we do, we get this up to height. I'll give him the notice today, and as soon as we got this up to boarded level, we'll go around and put that side in. I'm going to get all the ties in, see where Drew is now. So obviously we can't run that lift round from the front because the beams are too close together.
Yeah.
But where the beams are now, the top of that, that's a boarded lift.
How do you think we're going for time?
I'll ask the man himself. Kieran!
You're not going to be able to do it, boys, because none of you can walk it.
Yeah, he's down there. Mate, the thing is, I reckon if we up ready for the roof by the end of this week.
Ready for the roof?
Yeah, ready for the roof to start. Yeah. I reckon you're probably looking at another week, I would say.
After?
Yeah, I reckon, mate, yeah.
We've got to meet
Realistically.
the guys that are going to be ripping off the
Yeah.
roof. They will have an idea of second.
Yeah, I reckon Kieran would say the same.
Be good to get an idea. I want to speak to him.
Do you want me to get Kieran over?
Yeah, I'm thinking around that 11th is probably where you're handing it over.
Is that going to be alright, is it?
Well, much rather know a date.
Yeah. We should take this, mate, 2
Yeah,
seconds.
no drama. They're expecting it for Monday.
Are they? Yeah.
Is it Monday? Is it Thursday? No, it'll be the following one, won't it?
No, it's going to be the following.
Lee, can I call you back in 2 secs, mate? 2 secs, bye, mate.
No, so it'll be a few days off.
Yeah.
The following Monday.
Oh, do they?
No,
Oh, okay.
miles.
Yeah. Oh, to be fair, mate, I don't think that'll be that far off anyway. Nah.
They just plan a load of labour to get up there because they're just going to smash that roof down.
Ah, okay, mate, fine.
They just want to have an idea of timing.
Yeah. They're right up against it, to be honest. The clients advised they need us out of here really by the 9th, which gives us just under 2 weeks to get this wrapped up. And there's still quite a lot of work to be done. As you can see, all the structural stuff is pretty much in now on the 3 sides. All the beam work is in. It's nearly a case of starting to run lifts in. And we're hoping by the end of this week that we'd be up ready for the roof to start going on. But there's a lot of work to do. Obviously, at the minute we've got 5 men here. The boys are making good progress. But like anything, it's just, it takes time to get the gear up. It's very technical, it takes a bit of thinking, getting it right. The boys are following designs as well. But yeah, there is still a lot of work to be done here, a lot of work to go into this. And time is becoming of the essence, and we want to make sure that we meet our deadlines to keep our client happy, whilst ensuring that we work safely and get this wrapped up as per our design.
I need 2 5-foot tubes.
Got any 5s there, Kyle, I can have?
I've only got 1 5.
Yeah.
As this corner is a weak point, there are no legs touching the ground. Drew is in this very confined space to strengthen the corner and give it additional stability by tying it back with the legs of the scaffold.
Energy skills, chilled one.
Well, as chilled as it could be with a kid.
What you went with, little man?
Yeah, little man. He's just like got the attention span of a gnat. So he's like, you keep him entertained for 2 minutes and then he wants to do something else. Then he's running off, trying to look at this, that. Then we're in the shop and he's like, I need that. I need that. And I was like,
I need that. Don't argue with him. I need that.
He's like, I need that.
Sounds like Kieran.
I've just put some spurs in to pick up these beams. Basically, because we can't get legs that go down to the floor, we've got to put legs on from the angle from the scaffold. So although the beams are taking the weight, the spurs are just taking that extra little bit out. So they go on the angle up like that, and all that weight that transfers from here will then go back into the tower down there, so it can't sag so much. And then I've just tied it back every like 4 foot to the other scaffold to stop the spurs from like bending in when so much weight goes on them.
Another very busy day back in Chelsea. The boys are all up here cracking on. Abs is up there filming as well. She's got her harness on now from Leeches. Drew's up here getting all these spurs in just to strengthen up these corners here. 4 lines of tube to go in, and what he's done, he's strapped them from the bottom here, and they're going to go up to the underside of these beams here just to strengthen up these corners. Obviously nothing is touching the floor here at all on this corner. There's going to be a lot of weight sat on this part of the building as well. Obviously you've got the roof that's going to go up there on top. You've got Kieran up here, squeezed in, getting these ties in. Obviously we're working in a very, very confined space. Nearly take his beard off. You can see just how technical this job actually is. And obviously the boys are following this as per design as well. So yeah, it's just beams galore. Obviously you can't get any legs down here at all, so everything's suspended, everything is cantilevered. There is a tube in here that's temporary. That's going to come out once it's all laced and braced, which it is now. The structural tube is in. So yeah, this is nearly ready to start putting lifts in. Obviously the first boarded lift is going to be 2 meters above this one here. That's the first access point for our client. On this side here, you're going to have 3 boarded lifts. If we go around the front, just take you around there. There's not going to be a lot of not a lot of space for the client to work on. You can see that all the beams are in at this high point here now. So yeah, access is pretty much next to nothing at the top. So it's all going to have to be adapted on the way back down. Just had a few nightmares, to be honest. We're getting quite scarce on material at the yard. We've got loads coming back, ash parts coming down. We've got a lot of material coming back that we obviously desperately need. But one of the things when you're running a scaffold business is material and cash flow. And obviously we've been spending. Spent about 600 grand last year, and already this year we've had to carry on buying as well. So we're now at a point where we can't just keep going at 100 mile an hour. Obviously we need to let things kind of catch up on itself a little bit. You can't just keep sprinting uphill, because that's when you get burnout and that's when you start going pop. Luckily Ash Park is coming down, which is going to be a massive saviour. You could be a £5 million turnover company and you could have £3 million worth of scaffold around you. But if all your material's out and you've got to do another £1 million worth of work that year, you've got to buy that material. One of the biggest things I've learned in business is you just can't assume anything, like not a single thing. And that's where once you start building a team, you know, when it's just you on your own in business, you know, there's nothing to be like, you know what's dealt with and what's not. When you start building a team, when people start assuming things, that is when things go wrong, and you just can't assume anything. If you assume anything in business, that's when you're going to run into trouble. You know, it can't be a thing. You just can't assume anything, not even the slightest thing, you know, nothing. And so yeah, it's just getting that drilled into everyone as we start to grow. But yeah, it's been a proper start to the day. I'd say it's definitely a proper Monday. It's actually a Tuesday, but it's definitely a proper start to the week. We're moving. Listen, things are happening. Things are moving as they need to. But there is teething problems. The cash flow is tight. We're owed a lot of money. Luckily, at the minute, like I say, we've got Ash Park coming down. That is going to be our saving grace. But yeah, it's definitely been a proper start to the day. Yeah, we got a lot to sort out, a lot to do.
Say prayer.
I haven't prayed this morning yet, to be fair.
Right, let's do it quickly then.
Dear Lord, thank you for giving us this opportunity this morning to get up and scaffold in this beautiful weather. We are just about to take 2 stands out that could be very dangerous and life-threatening towards us. Please have us, God. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
We're going to be taking these 2 standards out, then we're going to be getting boards off.
The boys are just getting out these temporary legs now. You can see the tension that's in them. Obviously, all the weight was rested on ground level before, but now the tube have come out. That tension in the beam will have caused them to drop a little bit. So Kieran's just pulling these out now. Drew's leant over there, hasn't got a hard hat on for simple reason being he couldn't fit his head between the 2 lines of the beams. Wow. Because of the weight of the beams, as you can see, that are spanning the whole way down the side, there is an awful lot of weight between those and the ground level. Carl is now trying to take out the tube. That leg you can see there is temporary and was only put in for the boys to level these beams and get their structural tubes in, and therefore there's an awful lot of tension caused by the weight between the ground and the beams. Carl was trying to whack the screw jack, as you can see, to loosen these, and because of the tension, once this tube is out, anticipate that this scaffold is going to drop. The small tube that Carl's using isn't doing the job. Kieran just shouted down to him to grab an 8-foot tube, something bigger, to give him more leverage and enable him to whack this screw jack out and release the tension which will get this tube out. What am I doing now?
Go on. Oh, look!
Oh boy. Is that flat?
Yeah, that'll do. Now it should undo a bit easier.
The Tuesday tension is released.
Yeah? Come and see my level.
Is it perfect? I don't know if I captured it very well, but yeah, they just dropped a massive amount. You've got Abs up there, bless her, filming for the YouTube. She's clipped on with her harness. Never seen her go so wide-eyed.
Oh my God, them beams behind, look what they're doing now. They are fully like that. Yeah. Yeah, we've done it. They look alright, to be fair, Drew. Where they drop together, there's no like sag in the middle or nothing. It's just these ends I'm worried about. More so that end there. Is there anywhere we could get 4 spurs to the outside, Drew? It's just getting the angle on them, innit?
Yeah. See where the front of these spurs are?
Yeah.
And then see the ledges that they're on?
Yeah.
You could probably strap a 5 across there.
Come out a little bit more.
Maybe, I don't know if you get it through them beams.
Yeah. That's all right, we'll leave it. I mean, it's designed, isn't it?
Yeah, unless you...
I'd definitely piggyback that inside and out though, wouldn't you?
Do what?
That line there.
One more. Watch your head.
Loads of imping.
Watch your head, Johnny.
Watch your head, Johnny. Johnny, watch your head there.
You have to be super careful coming along this side. Got to make sure that everything's nice and safe. The boys have got in a temporary little lift just to work off now. And then it's going to be our first boarded working lift that the client is going to be able to get onto. We are going to shoot off to Ash Park after this. The boys are bringing a load of material back. The boys are striking there. So once we've seen the boys wrap this up this morning, we're going to be shooting over to Ash Park. Also got our new containers, our new offices that have arrived in the yard. We've got to get them plugged in. We've got to get the new electrics set up there. I might be changing the flooring as well. But yeah, there's a lot to sort, a lot to do.
Long, 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 long. What are you, sir?
Oh, thank you, please.
There would be a cap on the bottom, wouldn't there? Long. Long, Ace. Long.
The boys are now getting in there what we call hemps. These will enable them to go higher and higher and higher with the scaffold. So the tubes that Kieran's pulling up are 21-foot tubes. That's our longest tube. And once they're up, they'll be hemped into the sleeve, which is the joiner. Then they are able to go up another 6 meters.
I can smell like dirty kebab.
What you do?
You smell that?
I can smell it. What you can put a load of tyres in here, try and get this back in.
I've busted it out.
Look, I think they were butting the wall.
You didn't ever put that back into the wall. I reckon it's some ties.
What do you mean?
Holding it up. So what we're doing basically, where everything's settled, the ties are in, you notice the beamwork's just leading out a little bit, taking our standards out of level. And if you look on the inside here, that should be butting the wall. Where you've got such a big span, the scaffold's now just moving. I think I'm going to have a conversation with
engineer.
Yeah, basically our whole scaffold's leading out right about now, so we're going to have to try and come up with some kind of solution. I just don't like how it's all leaning out. This is where it needs pushing in here. The bottom row of beams is all right. It's the top row. They've done that. Bloody annoying, Abby.
It's a very, very dark and gloomy Tuesday. We're on the way now to see the boys at Ash Park, but before we get over there and see the boys stripping the scaffold, it is time for our weekly recap for this week on Stellar Scaffolding. And the long-awaited and overdue delivery of our offices. This is the first one here. This is going in at ground level. This is for Alan. This is going to be his drying room. And there's a canteen in here as well, there's a kitchen. Yeah, unbelievable seeing these come in. So yeah, the last one is in. Thank you to David Watson Transport. The bottom one here is for Alan. We've got our canteen area. Around here, for the drying room, and have a shelf in here with all the clothes and stuff. When you're growing, I feel like you get to a period where you've outlaid a lot of money, you've done a lot of work, and you're now at a point where you're waiting to get paid. When you've got some payment terms that stretch like 45 days, and you've got people that are late paying and everything else, plus within that period you've got to then buy extra bits of material or something unforeseen has to be covered, it just stretches you so thin, and you get to the end of towards the end of that period, and it's stressful. These times of business are what make you. You're owed a lot of money, you've got material outstanding, yes, you're seeing all these jobs flying up, and we are going well. You know, we are doing well. Been a few mishaps today with material, people assuming things. There was a small issue in the yard this morning. Alan thought that we would be aware there was no 5-foots in there. We weren't. Obviously, it's not Alan's fault. Do you know what I mean? It's just a learning curve. It's one of them. Just nothing can ever be assumed in business. It is what causes issues all the time. Nothing can ever be assumed on any level at all. The only thing that matters is bottom line, and everything has to be discussed and spoken about in full details for every tiny little thing every single day. Luckily, we've got a lot of material coming back, but it is a stressful time. It's just while you're trying to focus on, for me, like the content, running the business, future works, checking sure like the new quotes that we're pricing, making sure they're up together, checking that everything else that the team are doing is be boxed off and covered.
The crane boys have only got 5 stillages down. Apparently that Virtue won't let them put it on like where we are now. The crane boys are all just sat in their vehicles, sat doing nothing. I can see they've got 5 stillages, that's it, they're still bare on the roof.
Oh man. Oh, it's a car crash of a day. I need to see if I can get a lorry into you ASAP. So other job in Slough, lack of communication a little bit, and there was meant to be a lorry in there today. The lorry hasn't gone there. There's a load of excess stuff to be cleared off the roof. Hello mate, I'm trying to sort it now, mate.
Right.
So they're not letting you lift anything else off the roof, no?
I can lift stuff off, but like if I'm putting it down on the floor, it ain't worth me double handling it unless you're going to load it.
Well, I'm trying to get a high-ab lorry in there, mate, but I think from what he's saying, I can't get one of there till first thing. But if you can get all the stuff down and stack there, I can get a high-ab lorry in there first thing. 2 people haven't spoken that should have done. A lorry was meant to go in there. I thought it had been sorted and then found out this morning it hadn't. If you can get it all down, mate, that would be ideal. Another car crash there, people not speaking, communicating properly. There was meant to be a lorry. I thought it had been sorted for a lorry to go into Slough to get all the material out of there. That hasn't happened. The client is saying that they couldn't get everything down unless it's being cleared straight away, but it's now me who gets it in the ear. I've got to deal with all these things, and yeah, it is very frustrating at times. So yes, Stella are smashing it. Yes, Stella are doing very well, but behind closed doors, there is strings being pulled on absolutely everything to keep it moving, and yeah, it's not as smooth as it all looks.
HS2, you see. To be honest, I'd have more chance of a flatbed.
Yeah, the problem is them boys loading it.
What? Can they not load it that end?
No, I can fork it off my end, it's loading it that end.
High-up wise, I'll have to see if I can move some bits around for you.
If you can, mate, I'd even pay a little bit extra for it, or whatever, shot you a drink or whatever would be needed. Joe, you alright, mate? Joe. I can't really hear you, mate. Can't hear him, the signal's terrible. Absolute disaster of a start to the week. Still sorting issues out, getting material out of Slough. We've got Alan who's had to divert to a supplier and run out of diesel on the way back from doing so. Hopefully the boys are going to get that done today. That's a crucial job for a very, very good client. Due to go to Ash Park now, so you can see the boys striking there, and they're going home. The simple reason being it's too wet there. Like understood, it's not an issue. It's just too wet there, and it'd be too dangerous to be up there striking in this weather. It's too slippery. They're high up. It's exposed. Obviously the roof below. If there's any sort of damages, again, it comes back to us. All I can do is apologise. The episode is a car crash, but yeah, absolute disastrous start to the week. There's so many issues and things that I've got to sort. But listen, it happens. This channel, obviously we have a very short window to film these episodes. 9 times out of 10 they go to plan. Today it was the one time they haven't. But yeah, it is what it is. We move, and yeah, back to it next week, I suppose. One thing I've just been reminded of is this is actually our 1st year anniversary. So a year ago today we started doing YouTube, but this has been an absolute disaster of a celebration. Yeah, a year ago today we started YouTube. Congratulations to us. I'm going to use that to wrap up the episode. Thank you to every single person who likes, comments and is subscribed. If you haven't already, please do so, and we'll see you again next week for episode 54.